darp upon it. I know you, Stephen Richardson. I can know a gas dinner. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen Richardson, and welcome to Cornwall. Welcome to this video. This is the first overnighter that I've ever done in my Bushcraft Basecamp. Just setting off. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm just hiking into the Bushcraft Basecamp. The weather's okay at the moment, but there's intermittent light and heavy rain showers forecast for this afternoon, throughout the night, and tomorrow morning. So although I'm going to give my shelter a good testing out, I have brought my tarp with me, not to use as a shelter, but simply, well, to sleep in, but as a spot to go where I could keep dry and not be miserable in the evening. I've got quite a few things planned that I want to get done. I want to try and build a fire reflector, and then I've also got an evening meal to cook. I've got some steak and pasta, and then I want to get a lot of firewood collected at least before the rain starts, and try and put it away somewhere nice and dry. So I'll bring you back when I'm at the camp. Right, so here we are at the Bushcraft Basecamp. First impressions are that the shelter was withstood the quite atrocious weather we've had over the last day or so. We've had very high winds and a lot of rain, and yet everything seems to be in place. And as you can see, still seems to be quite dry on the bed. So yeah, first good impressions. Right, first things first. As you can see, this is the back of my shelter. First thing I want to do is get my tarp set up, so when the rain does come, I'm going to be prepared. So that's the back of the shelter. What I'm going to do is set it up from that tree over there all the way across to this tree with my rucksack on. I'm going to have it quite high up because it's not for sleeping under or anything like that. It's just purely to keep the rain off. Right, I've strung out the front of the tarp, made a couple of stakes, so now I'm going to just stake in put the stakes in for the back of the tyre. Right, so there we have it, a nice place to relax, have a cup of coffee if it does start to rain. Right, so next I think I want to get some firewood processed before it does start to rain. So I've got some dry wood that I can light a fire with and cook a meal tonight. doing any kind of physical work, it's always important to make sure you've got plenty of water with you, and make sure you stay hydrated. Right, I've got quite a lot of wood done. What I want to do now is build my fire up so that it's ready to go for when I want to light it. What I'm going to do is build an upside down fire, because then I can light it a good few hours before. It won't need a lot of maintenance, and then hopefully the embers will be ready to use in a few hours time after I've lit it. So here we go. So the idea of an upside down fire is that it's like a normal fire but in reverse. Normally when you light a fire you start with all your smallest wood or fuel right at the bottom, and then you gradually add bigger and bigger bits of fuel. Whereas with an upside down fire, what you do is you build it up from the bottom with all of your larger size pieces of wood right at the bottom, and then effectively what you do is light a fire on the top. And then the idea is once that fire is lit on the top, it's going to burn down gradually through all the stages of the thinner wood until you end up at the bottom with all your big fuel alight. And the big advantage there is that once you've got it going, it's virtually maintenance free. You just have to keep checking it every now and again just to make sure it's safe and it's not going to fall over or anything, but you don't have to keep adding wood. So if you've got time beforehand, you can prep your fire and then you can light it, and then you can be getting on with other things without having to worry about adding fuel. And the way it's built as well, at the bottom you leave plenty of air gaps for the oxygen to flow up through the fire, but also those air gaps allow all the hot embers to fall through and gradually heat up the bigger pieces of wood and set fire to them, so it burns quite efficiently. So there you go, upside down fire. What I need to do now is just make sure I've got enough kindling and tinder to actually start the fire on the top of it later on. Right, well it's 12:30ish, we're in Cornwall, outdoors. I'm feeling hungry, so it's time for breakfast. Got a lovely steak pasty from the corner shop and bakery. Going to enjoy this, and then going out looking for materials to build a fire with me. I'm just off out into the woods now. I'm looking for some materials to build a fire reflector with. Basically I need logs that are branches that are about 6 foot long or so to build it up. I want it to come up to a height of about 3 or 4 foot, and I'm going to need some thinner diameter, 4 thinner diameter poles to make the supports for the fire reflector. So off we go. Well, I've just found this fallen dead tree. As you can see, it's got a nice, really long, straight piece. It's not really too thick the whole way along. I reckon I can process that down and get a good few 6 foot lengths from that. Here's another one. I think I can get another good few lengths out of that one as well. That's some good firewood as well, some good kindling into the bargain as well. Right, my battery's nearly out, so I'm going to have to do very short highlights from here on in. I've managed to build my heat reflector, the fire reflector. There it is, about 5 or 6 feet long. It's a good 3 or 4 foot tall. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Very substantial. I think that's going to work a treat.